Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Danganronpa Chapter 4. Our investigation of what the fuck is going on continues. Everyone's hanging out in the med lab, what's up? I actually forget where we are. But I'm pretty sure we haven't seen anything horrible. If you saw something like someone's life coming to an end in front of you, you'd never be able to sleep again, which would suck. Yeah, never mind the person who actually died. Rip them. What happened? We got into a fight. You lost your tempo and flew off the handle. The fight over Sakura? Right, those of you who might have forgotten from last time, Sakura has been revealed as an agent of Monokuma. At first you tried to ignore that. You let jerk buttholes get to you all the time, you'll never have time left to live your life. But she wouldn't let it go, see, it just... You felt like you wanted to punch her a dozen times. A dozen punches isn't without thinking. It is for Hina, she's pretty on top of things. When things got out of hand, Genocide Jack got let loose. Right, I remember this. She took a stab at you. It's your fault, you just couldn't take it anymore because she was saying all sorts of terrible things about your friend. Before you knew it, Hina's eyes started welling up with tears. I can sympathize, but she did freely admit to being an agent of the guy who took you hostage and is forcing people to kill each other. So, I don't know, I wouldn't feel too bad about insults towards her because they're probably true. And just when those tears were on the brink of spilling over, the door to the nurse's office burst open. I thought the door was going to fly off its hinges. And there she stood before us. Muscles. Agent of Monokuma, which should be her new title. Yeah, it's no big deal. What's the meaning? It wasn't us, dumbass. It was Jill, a demented murderous fiend. Hina, how dare you? Uh-oh, she doesn't seem happy. She's powering up. Then again, the last guy who powered up went all the way to Ultra Instinct and still died, so... Maybe these power-ups ain't all that hot. It's just a scream. I mean, her lines are even voice acted. They gotta be serious. His lines being voice acted mean nothing. I swear you could just copy paste them. Is Sakura Pensile's cousin? A distant descendant of her cousin. See, his lines are interchangeable. He's never saying anything useful. Hiro nearly tripped over himself as he ran screaming out of the nurse's office. What a bitch. Someone please kill Yasuhiro. What's the noise about? Ah, it's Kyoko. What's up? Yes. Kyoko, do something. Do something. We're not going to do anything ourselves. We're not going to talk to him. We're just going to ask someone else to do something for us. You've drawn a line. A line, you say. Kira sprang into action, leaving the nurse's office to chase after Sakura. And the only ones left were Kyoko. Well, at least we can talk to Kyoko. What up? Person who might be the most suspicious person of us all. You still mad? Oh? That issue? Do you forgive me for not being able to talk about it? You could have told us about Monokuma and Sakura fighting, but you stayed quiet. You were only thinking of Sakura, and that's why you didn't tell me? No, it was more like we had no proof. We didn't want to confuse everyone until we could talk to her and be sure of what we saw. Yeah. Yeah, wow, she read through us. Damn. I wouldn't expect this arrogance. Hey, I tried to tell you. The game literally forced me not to. Means you don't trust me. That's right. You've already forgotten? Really? You might have overreacted. We got blushing Kyoko, alright. We've gotten our chapter's quota of cute shit done. I'm stamping it off. This is a good chapter. Alright, let's just forget about it and move on. Awesome. Can we talk to her again? Something else? What do you got for me? Come somewhere. You have business. Another secret room for us to be ambushed in by a mysterious figure? I mean, I guess we're following her. I don't actually disagree with this choice either. Alright. Ah, Kyoko. And we hurried up to catch up with her. We walked ahead in silence, and in silence, I chased her. Eventually, we arrived. Where are we? Ah! Back to the dressing room to talk with Alter Ego, I assume? Okay. What up, Alter Ego? He said he'd done his job now that we didn't need him. That's fair. Not that... Not us that needs him, he needs us? He has business with us? What does he have to do with us? Is he the... He asked you to bring others to see him. Okay. Apparently he has something else to ask. Oh. What do you have for us? Alright. Can I click these slippers? No. Guess we have business with him. Let's see what's up. Alter Ego. Yeah, it's just us. Kyoko's fingers glide across the keyboard. Is 2 not enough? 2 should be plenty. Ooh, okay. Let's find out what's going on. I feel like the fact that he speaks audibly should be a problem for us, but... You want him to take somewhere so you can connect him to the school network. Kyoko and I quickly get to her. She looks shocked. Yeah, why? He said his job was done. That's true. But to stop here, saying you're done? You want more? He wants to get out, break out of his prison and take over the school? To become the next Monokuma? He wants to work as hard as everyone else so we can get out? Oh, that's apparently what Master would want to. Help everyone else to solve the mystery of the school. The only way you can help is if he gets onto the network. You'd also probably die pretty quickly. Well, he's volunteering for it, right? Knowing the dangers. That's why he's hidden in this room and not in like a computer lab. He's in a fucking right next to a sauna and a pool. You're scared, but you can handle it. You don't know why, but when you think about others, your courage grows. It's true. For the sake of everyone else. Couldn't help but get lost in his voice. It's just too committed, too admirable, too fragile. What was it you asked before, Makoto? You asked what the difference between a person and a program? When I talk to Alter Ego, I just don't know anymore. I have no idea how to answer that question. Perhaps that's a question even the program's creator can't answer, but I can say this. There's no question that he's our friend. To be honest, I didn't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore. Because if we take any more risks, the mastermind really will notice it, but... Let's do it! Let's do it! He says he wants to do it. He volunteers. We didn't even give him the idea. If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing? You saw everyone else fighting and doing their best. Could you look the other way? Or would you stand up? Stand up tall next to everyone else and tell them you're the... Yeah, okay. Okay, Kyoko, I guess you have a point. At least I would have said, like, let him make his own decisions for himself. If he's intelligent enough... If he's intelligent enough to ask to do something... outside the scope of what he's been requested, may as well grant... do what he asks for. You want to believe in yourself and say you can do it. Please let me try. And there's one place the mastermind might not notice. One more place with no cameras, a room without cameras. Secret room? There's no cameras in the secret room. Oh, there is a plug to the network there, okay. An Ethernet port on the wall? Alright. Yeah, there's no way to be sure the mastermind isn't monitoring the network. We'll have to move it. Yeah, there's that mysterious guy that also beat us unconscious and took a bunch of stuff. It's our best chance of finding clues. Yeah, alright, we'll proceed with the plan. Are we still wearing a hoodie? It's gonna be cramped, but bear with us. Are we still wearing a hoodie? I think we are, right? I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. Oh right, the bomber, the like shitty jacket. It tickles? Shh. Till we get there, be quiet. Command has been implemented. To have him react like a machine all of a sudden. How did that react? There's a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there, perhaps, if the mastermind didn't take it. Let's go. Secret room away. Alright, I assume we're gonna get railroaded, so if I try to go to the kitchen... Yeah, railroaded, as I said. We're railroaded super hard, so let's just keep going. May as well follow the plot. Secret room is what, second or third floor? Oh, what's up, Stabby? What are you doing? Living, I see. Well, that's certainly a response to dialogue of a sort. Alright, it's not this one, it's the third floor, right? Are you sure all the documents are gone? Make sure you don't run off. He's gonna wait right here. Okay. You thought you made her mad again today? Go. And be thorough. I'm counting on you. Right, it's here. Sorry, I was wondering where the click prompt. Really? There we go. So whose skills to work on now since comma is 10, 10, 10? Alright, first a network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be something in this drawer. Perfect! And now we connect all three. We get to work, pull out the laptop, connect it to the Ethernet port with the cable. Awesome. Alright, we're in business. And that should do it. What's comma? It worked. You might even be able to connect to the outside word. If you can, you'll call for help. So just wait. Alright. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. You and the rest of us, together as friends. At the moment, they are either working on first Hassan to 6s or NQ to 6s. I'm surprised you didn't put either of them to 6s. Go for both of them to 6. And go for both to 6s, and then decide 10s. Even you. That's right, El Rigo. We're gonna get you out as best we can. Do you have any other Lancers at 10s? Next 10's Martha Ruler. I'd go for 6s first. That would be my priority. Then I'd go for 10s on my account. Yeah. If it was my account, I might go for Hassan. You're low on chains, you can't put a rush to 10s. Do a point. Do I use this? I guess I have had more uses for an Enkidu than I have a Hassan. So I'd go Enkidu. If you're not gonna put a Resh to tens, I'd go Enkidu. Enkidu's pretty good at soloing and is useful for like killing threats to humanity. That'd be my call. Hassan, I've used him a couple times. It depends on if you're using Hassan as your last stand. If you're using Hassan every fight is like your last stand, he's like Bond 10 or something, I'd go Hassan. But if you're instead leaving your last stand as like a Herc, or a Ku Alter, or Nero, or regular Ku, then I'd go Enkidu. Because like, you'll put Hassan to 10s when you start leaving him in your backline all the time. It went okay, but the documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings. And there's nothing left for us here. See ya later. My last stand for challenge quests is usually Ku Alter. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Then I wouldn't worry about Hassan too much. You're basically set already, so like, why bother? Just go with Enkidu because he's got like some utility as a single DPS. And there are technically better main DPS than Hassan, although his latest upgrade makes him pretty disgustingly strong, just in general. Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that's for sure.
Nani?
That Kyoko? We're gonna split? Isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so goddamn high. If you don't like that, it's almost like she doesn't care about my feelings. I'm hurt. You just want to talk about her. Like, what are you gonna do about Sakura? Don't know what she's gonna do about that. Nothing right now. No one to persuade. They don't have the mind to listen. Fair enough. Wait. Patience. If we can find a new clue or something to shake up the situation, that would be great. Which is why Alter Ego is needed to make things a little bit better. Alright. All we can do is wait. Alright. Our only option. Patience. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. Okay. We're tired, so we lay down in bed. Maybe because of the stress of moving Alter Ego. You're more tired than you realized. After all, so before long. Wow, okay. Before long, we completely dozed off. I've been there. Nice to be able to lay down and take a nap whenever. Oh, the doorbell. Okay, who's coming? Who? An urgent ring. The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world. Well, someone's probably not dead because it's not a Monokuma announcement. And it's not the evening because we haven't had a Monokuma announcement. Get out of here. Get out here? What's wrong? Hina came to see me and she was as white as a ghost. Oh shit, that's not good. It sounds like something. Did Sakura beat the crap out of Jill? What happened? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little bit faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. Either that or someone's dead. She said for us to come to the rec room. Let's fucking go. Alright, she's here. What's up, Hina? Okay, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. There was a window on the rec room and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura's there. Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head. What happened? You were walking past and happened to notice her through the window. Do you like the large difference in text with something? Yeah, it's kind of funny how much there is in disability text, isn't there? You couldn't get the door open. Interesting. I tried knocking and tried calling her name, but it wouldn't respond. She wouldn't respond. That's not good. What should we do? First, into the room, but the door's locked. The door isn't locked. It's locked. It isn't locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. The door is pushing against something. The chair, perhaps? This door isn't locked, which means as far as we can tell the rule doesn't apply. Yep. Alright, she'll get something to smash the window. Senpai, you watch your old vids if you're doing? I guess so. I'd rather you didn't, unless you have like a serious point you want to make. Like, oh. Or like when I say I never said that and you're like, bullshit. Here's a video proving you said it. I'd be fine with that, but like, if you're just randomly playing them, it seems kind of pointless. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. Surely she's just unconscious. I mean, it's Sakura, right? She's fine, I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. But that silence didn't last long. We found a broom in the classroom. You want me to do this? Surely the chick who works out all the time and is in like every single sports team ever would have way more muscle mass than us, right? I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was a single hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally, the knob turned. I ran to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could only feel the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body, and then... Interesting. Yeah, we are wearing a hoodie that zips up. I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. This guy's seen like 6 bodies. How are you still surprised? I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. Suddenly it passes out and goes into a low-res version, alright. Everyone else has their high-res 2D sprite and she's like super low-res. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered if she was confirming Sakura really was dead. Checking for a pulse or reaction perhaps? I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room and I... Why? Why did this have to happen? Well, I'm guessing it was poison. That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. Look around, dumbass. Is there any clues? Any damage? Sign of a fight? I assume she was just like poisoned, right? After how long? She got everyone. Ogre? Yeah. Jill's happy she's dead. And Byakuya's not surprised she's been killed. Okay. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You heard the announcements, so you know what this means. She could have killed herself. She was murdered by someone in this room, but I don't know if Monokuma would have made people go on a witch hunt for nobody, so... Yep. Someone died. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura. You're accusing us before we begin. There's only 6 people alive. I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her, you hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. No. I didn't know your power level would increase that much just by getting mad. Jeez. Yeah, what are you doing here, Monokuma? You here to hand out the murder flyer? Thanks. Don't get so mad or you'll ruin that lewd little face of hers. You heard it out of the bear's mouth. Lewd face. Hold on. I have a question. Oh, he has a question for Monokuma. Interesting. Was it you who killed Sakura? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you fought again? I don't think he'd be this subtle. Not quite. Not even close. Everything is it's all completely irrelevant now. She came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things up with me. Which, thank God for that, it saved me the trouble of having to go through with our fight. Even for someone like you, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I'm not sure you would have won. You would have just used your abilities to like spawn spikes and kill her, but yeah, okay. Would have just used the school's defenses to kill her, but you know. As muscly as she is, muscles don't save against machine guns. She violated a rule by attacking you, but you weren't able to punish her. But whoever the blackened is, he owes her. Alright. You owe them. And before you get pissy at me, you better figure out who did it. After all, everyone's life is online. Alright. Yeah, he's grateful she's dead. Alright, she is working to the mastermind. Bikuri's happy. I mean... yeah, the next game's already begun. No time for stalling. So, Bikuri is happy, but it doesn't mean he killed her, because he doesn't really think it's worth... he probably just thinks he's gonna win anyway, and doesn't think it's worth killing anyone. It's probably better to stay alive. Seems to be his plan so far, or at least to observe. He might have killed her this time. It's possible he thinks it would have been a good play, might have been an okay play. I feel like our three obvious choices are like, you know, Toko, Bikuya, Yasuhiro. Yoko could have done it. Hina probably didn't do it to be quite the twist. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura? Yeah. Our top priority is uncovering the killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. So let's decide who will stand guard this time. Aoi's gonna do it? Alright. Just let me handle it. I want to be here with Sakura. Alright, Hina's guard 1. Yoko, you're guard 2. Always a thorn in his side, and this time just stand by and watch quietly. He wants her to not do anything, because she's actually okay at investigating stuff. Alright. Before that, what do you want to say, Aoi? Hiro, Bikuya, Toko, none of you are allowed in the crime scene anymore. Fuck off. One of you killed her? Alter Ego can't act, he's a fucking computer. You won't let someone like that come anywhere near here? Our lives are in just as much danger as you ever to investigate. Okay, she doesn't care. Well, I guess discussion's a waste of time. Investigate outside the area. A compromise? Just let Bikuya in. Obviously, Bikuya doesn't care for the other two. You're both useless anyway. To be fair, Yasuhiro is completely useless. So I don't really care if he gets in. Jill doesn't care because she's not going to investigate either. She'd rather... There are enough traps Alter Ego could hack. Remember Junko? Alter Ego isn't a player, there's no reason to kill anybody. He doesn't benefit from murdering people. You should agree to his request, Hina. More information is better for those of us who are alive and to honor her memory. Yeah, okay, the only person you would actually care about being locked out is let in. That's dumb. You aren't allowed to touch her, no matter what. He's like, I'm better than touching dead bodies. Alright, focus on the investigation. Keep in mind, if we can't uncover her killer, we're all fucked. It's not a matter of hoping, we need to actually do it. Find the killer. A hopeless kind of hope. We have no choice. Let's find out. Who's the killer? Investigation time. Check the file first. What's it say? Victoria Sakura Ogami, time of death around noon. Body discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. Evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries noted. At some point, the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Okay. File 4 added to the truth bullets. Okay. This case might be a challenge. The only way into the room is the door we came through, and that door's been jammed shut with the chair from inside. Which means the killer would have had to escape after barring the door. So if this door was blocked and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's no escape, right? In other words, it's a locked room murder. Did it really happen in real life? Okay, tell me about it. What's it entail? When you break it down, there's 4 types. The first is the locked room is created when the crime is committed. Yep. That means the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. Yep. This mainly involves a trick involving the locking of the room. Yep. Basic approaches like a string or a simple mechanism. All we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right? Second is the locked room exists before the crime is committed. The killer uses the contraption to target the victim inside like a trap. Yep, you push a switch, it fires a handgun, you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, anything like that. But in this case, it may not fit. There's no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gaps. So it's probably not that. Third is when the killer stays in the room. This room is fairly small. There could be a secret door, or a secret room. We know one secret room exists, so there could be more. They stay hidden, and when the doors open, they use the confusion to blend in. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's not. Imagine alter ego being a bait by Monokuma and giving false information. I considered that. I've considered that. He hasn't actually given us any useful information. Like, maybe when he starts hacking stuff, we'll get more information out. Right now, we can't really tell because he hasn't actually done anything. Like, I mean, he's told us some background information, but honestly, that could either have been on the laptop or Monokuma could have fed it to him. Like, it doesn't really impact. It's not like he said there's a secret room here to gain our trust. He gave us, like, some useless dialogue that doesn't really help us. And is like a character that could be weighing us down or helping us. We don't really know yet. The point where he's hacking into the system is what he's doing right now is when we find out whether he's doing something or when he's not good. He was also the cause of 2 people dying. Not really. The murders weren't associated with him. He wasn't even attached to the case file. Yeah, they were. 2 of the people who died were. Okay, well, 1 was bribed into it, but I mean, what's her face? The Celeste wasn't the spy, so it's not like she was working with him to do that. I don't think so. I don't think that works. Like, Celeste wasn't teaming up with Alter Ego to move Alter Ego. I'm pretty sure she didn't give a fuck about what Alter Ego wanted, just moved him and said, don't talk. And he kind of went along with it, because he's like, why wouldn't I trust you? I don't really have any control over myself. And if he's really worried, he'd just start screaming, right? Maybe. The 4th and final type was, it wasn't a locked room at all. Yep. There was actually an alternate escape route, which seems likely. 3 or 4 are the most likely. You see it in a lot of novels, but in reality it's generally not possible. Really? So there's 4 possibilities, and which of these 4 choices is most likely? You can't say which one's likely? How'd they set up the locked room? The truth behind it. They figure out the truth will be arraigned hidden. Alright. Concentrate and investigate as much as we can for Sakura, if nothing else. Okay, let's have a look. Clues. This is something. This is the protein powder, right? Some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. A protein drink that's empty. She must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she likes protein shakes. And it's good for all sorts of ailments. Yeah, don't take that one to heart. Still, the protein can. It's got a label of Chem A2. It reminds me of how the Chem lab had all sorts of health stuff, including poison. Yeah, that's strange. What's scattered around the can? Shards of blue-like glass? Parts of the window, right? They're underneath the can, so they must have been there ahead of time. Yeah, take note of it. It was possibly on the chair. Might be relevant. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth room. Alright. The chair, I assume we have to click the chair. It was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special. So I'm thinking... Alright, there's like 2 possibilities. One, a secret door. The second one is that this is the murder weapon, and this was poisoned. 2 distinct possibilities. And there's not too much to interact with, so that's probably... one of those 2 is probably the case. Weirdest twist would be Aoi. Aoi would... Kyoko... Aoi's been a vehement defender of her, but she easily could have, like, snapped and said, fuck it, I'm killing someone. I don't think she did. I think the weirdest twist would be Kyoko. Probably Kyoko's the weirdest twist. Or us. I guess us would be the weirdest twist, but we know, whatever. We didn't kill her, to our knowledge. Alright, looks like a wrapper. What is it, Hina? It's a handkerchief you gave it to her? A candy wrapper. You got super upset when she found out Jack attacked you, right? Yeah. When we left the nurse's office, you gave it to her thinking it'll calm her down a bit. You gave the candy to Sakura. A big box of it found in the warehouse she really likes. You really like them, okay. You thought as soon as we get into the warehouse... Actually, as soon as you got into the warehouse, you took the entire box back to your room. Make sure no one else get their hands on them. But you wanted Sakura to try one for herself, and that's why you gave it to her. Now they've lost all their flavor. Empty candy wrapper, another way to poison someone. A new and unusual candy you don't know if you're being poisoned or not because you don't know what it's supposed to taste like. Or what its flavoring is supposed to be or what its texture is. And only Hina could give it. That's a little bit sus. Okay, the petals on the floor. Shards of glass all around the chair she was sitting on. All red and... Yep, it's parts of a bottle. One of those Monokuma bottles, right? Glass shards on the floor added to the truth bullets? Yep. There should be a Monokuma, right? Yep. A figure in the palm of her hand, a Monokuma knight. If that matters. I think all the Monokumas are similar. Nope. They're chess pieces. King's missing, right? King's missing, right? There are 4 red bottles. There are two missing. One clearly broke, probably on her head. The other one's missing. That one was the Monokuma knight. We have the rook, the pawn, the bishop, and I think that's the queen. So that means the king is missing. And another bottle. Interesting. And there's 2 spaces to make it clear. In each bottle is some kind of figure. How'd they get the figures inside the bottle? Who knows? Your standard chip in a bottle? Yep. Yep, the opening smaller than the object inside. Yeah, we've seen them. This is a Monokuma bottle, of course. Alright, Monokuma bottle bullet. bottles are sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground was in a bottle. It means Sakura was hit in the head with a bottle. The shards of glass in the figure are evidence of that, so it's safe to say the bottle was the weapon. There's also a missing bottle. Empty locker. No one on the inside. But there's handprints. Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in the dust. Fresh too. It said someone was hiding in the locker. You'd say someone was hiding in the locker and left behind a little extra. Something. Maybe they hid in there until the room was open? Drowned the food and they popped it. That's unlikely considering we know there was no one in here. That's stupid. Before we opened the door, we looked in the room, and the locker was open. There's no way someone could have hit it. That, and we know who was in the room because we looked around inside the room. Or at least Kyoko would have while we stared at the corpse because we're a fucking idiot. And don't look around the room. Alright. So, what does the handprint mean? Now, the locker's against the wall, and we didn't try to move it. The locker could be a hidden, door. Let's keep looking around the room. The Othello set, I don't think it's gonna be relevant. Alright, bloodstain. Probably from Sakura, but that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away? Alright. The same shelf full of magazines. Nothing interesting here. We can't interact with the dartboard. We can check the clock, not that it's gonna matter. It's around 1, according to the file. She died around noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Interesting. I don't think she would be that obvious, but we were in the vicinity. We were in the vicinity, just so you know, Kyoko and I. And Kyoko specifically stayed outside and didn't come in with us. Just pointing that out. Hero developing psychic powers and the handprints from his invisible hands. Ah, why didn't I think of that one? It seems so obvious now. Cool. Nothing else to interact with. She drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head. Normally I'd have no problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the file, she also vomited blood. You can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? It's obvious. Poison. It said she had no other injuries, therefore poison. Probably, right? Maybe the hit on the head caused her to start vomiting blood? Unlikely. You don't vomit blood from being hit on the head. That's not what happens. Hero killed her via psychic power. Your eyes landed on an interesting location though, yes. Most interesting. Yes, it is very interesting. Why would she vomit blood? There has to be a reason. It's probably poison. We have nothing else to interact with other than the people in this room. Let's start with Hina. We don't know who did it. I don't think Hina's guilty, but this is pretty silly. You couldn't stand side of her, you agree with me? No, I'm not just gonna agree with you on that. There's no evidence. Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right in the rec room. Interesting. Really? After we went to the nurse's office this morning, we both left together, and she went off on her own, but when I saw her again, she told me she left a note for each of them. She's asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. And then Monokuma file, she said she died around then. Alright. She's telling the truth. She heard it right from Sakura, and you tried to stop her. She wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk. And this is what happened. You had stopped her by force. This never would have happened. You know? It's not possible. It's possible to have not to have regrets. I know. Alright, Aoi's account in the truth bullets. The fact she asked the three to meet with her makes them really sus. And she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same place she died. It might be good to confirm with the three of them. Yeah, I'm on that plan. Let's ask Fukuya. What's up? Fukuya, confirm this. Alright. Is it true Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? It's true then? You received the note. Did you go? What fool would do what it said and risk being killed by the monster? So you didn't go? You ripped it to shreds and threw it away. You haven't seen her today at all. He says he didn't go to see her. Is that true? Well, we have no proof otherwise. Remove yourself from my sight. Alright. Kikuya's account. And last but not least. For Sakura to have been killed, she's not the type to go down without a fight. Sakura was a spy, but who's 16? They haven't introduced 16 yet, so we don't know. He was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. How was the killer able to get the upper hand? Did someone get the upper hand? Probably not. It would have needed surprise, but it seems more likely that poison was involved. Just by like a simple deduction. Why else would... Like what else would you use? Alright. Time to leave. There's nothing else to be gained here. The door is the only way in or out. The door doesn't have a lock and there's no evidence. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get in. There's no evidence of any string or mechanism we used on the door. In other words, nothing suspicious about the door itself. But having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply the chair. Kept the doorknob from turning and turning. There was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that, so the killer must have created the door from the inside, not the outside. I'm thinking Sakura made the lock. Rec room door added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Down with the general investigation? Hell yeah. I think we've seen everything we can click. Talk with people. Alright. You'll go in my place. Very well. I mean, it's not like we weren't going anyway. She's gotten a little more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to... Like, why are we having this dialogue? We've been doing this anyway, Kyoko. Sakura wanted him to meet with 2 other people. We need to talk to them at the very least. I mean, there's only so many people left alive these days. Unless we magically gain the ability to interact with something else, I'm gonna just use the escape button. Yeah, out of here. The other 2 probably went back to their rooms, faffing about. Oh, fast travel. Thanks, game. Oops, I didn't want truth bullets. I actually wanted map. I'm just verifying they're in their rooms and where their rooms are. 4th on the right and 3rd on the right after the corner. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What up, Toko? I pressed the doorbell. What up, Toko? After a few seconds. It's the less manic Toko. Who's there? Ah, welcome back to the most negative aura we've ever seen. An aura of total decay. What do you want? No Jack? Makes you sick to your stomach to even hear her name. You were in such a good mood and now someone's dead. She doesn't look like she's in a good mood. It's now a bad time. And, oh, she actually came out. Perfect. She's not hiding in her room like an idiot. I want to talk about something? That's right. Sakura asked to meet with you, apparently, right? Rejecting that. Interesting. Kikuya already told me she asked to meet with him. She wanted to meet. Well, you just said 2, didn't you? Yep. Why are you pointlessly hiding information, Toko? It's making me look sus. You did get the note, but you didn't go see her. You were scared and you couldn't bring yourself to go. Okay. You claim she didn't go, but we probably can't trust her because she's already lied about the note. Well, guess we'll just accept it as fact for now. Bye. Toko's account. We have to check the chem lab, by the way. In theory, we should also check Sakura's room, but I don't know if we'll do that. Alright, Yasuhiro, after a few seconds. Yep. About how Sakura wanted to meet with you. He admits it, at least. Yes, our abilities have awakened. We can read the hearts and minds of people. Speak the truth or be forever damned. You're not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself. She asked Bikuya and Toko to come. He's also looking sus. Didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. This guy's also lying. This is super suspicious. So you went and met with her? Really suspicious. The last time you saw her was when Hina got hurt. Okay. You haven't seen her. Really? Really? Bruh. Bruh. Let's go over that dialogue. Didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person and mentioned the others in passing. 2 paragraphs later. Okay, moving on to. I haven't seen her since Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. Looks like we found our man. Either that or he's got something stupid to hide. One of those two. Show me the note, buddy. Yori was feeling around in his pockets. That's fair, he's an idiot, it's fine to lose it. With a goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands out of his pockets, but when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. It doesn't really matter if it's the note or not, I think we already got him. Oh! Okay, 2 pieces of evidence against him. Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it up back again and shoved it back into his pocket. Sorry, just a bit of trash, dude. This isn't even subtle, though. You can't deny Ogre asked to meet with you, but you never went. Alright, bye. Without waiting for a reply, he slipped back into his room. He said it was your trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Yep, so he's definitely met her. We have pocket trash, and we have the obvious fact that he lied about having met her again. Alright. He's too stupid to kill people? Yeah. So tactically? I mean, I think it would just be poison, but, you know, whatever. You heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? The chem lab? The actual crime scene? Yeah, I'm doing the chem lab first. Cool. Can we fast travel to the chem lab? That is the 4th floor. Data center. The chem lab is right here. We'll warp. That's probably the way to the 5th floor. Chem's right here. Let's have a look. He's here too. Yep, of course we did. Nah, no worries. Ultra weak flex. Thanks, Xenon. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Fuck you. Alright, let's have a look. Anything suspicious? Not my first time seeing the shelf, but I can't get by how big it is. Blah, blah, blah. Take a closer look. Okay, 3 shells connected together make one giant. You're not going to pay attention to the poison on the ground? There's some powder. Keynote, powder, not liquid. Don't step in it because it's poisonous. Okay. C4. A broken bottle in front of the shelf, and that's where the powder came from. Chem C4. What do you got for me? You were on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point the room wasn't like this. Okay. This powder must have been spilled around the incident time. It must be related to the case. Okay. Source of the powder. Next hint. The powder itself. Yellow powder on the floor. Don't leave a footprint. Footprints. Someone made a mess. Only in front of the left shelf. How do they relate to the scene of the floor? As a whole, we need a sketch of the floor plan. Dumbass. Alright. Chop chop, dry out the floor plan. We got and drew a sketch of the room. Okay. How's this? It would appear whoever left these footprints only had business at the left shelf. Yeah, it's obvious. They came in, went straight to the shelf, did whatever they had to, and left. That's what the footprints tell me. Oh, they am I? No. Look at my shoes. Okay. Here you go, Bakuya. These are obviously not our footprints. You could have just looked at the threads. With how clear these prints are, it should be easy to determine whose they are. We should look at Sakura's feet. There's a distinct possibility they're her footprints. We should take a good hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder floating on the floor. Remains of a broken bottle. Yep. It was Chem 4. Looks like someone left footprints. Yep, we know that. Okay. Based on the position... We've literally gone through this. I haven't done anything yet. According to Bakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all we can tell for now. Okay. Ah, there's no actual prints. Okay. There's just spacing there. There's not, like, designs. It couldn't be Sakura's. Yeah, Sakura's huge, so it's probably not Sakura's footprints. You're right. I mean, it bears checking out, but it could have been, like, barefoot, but, like, fuck, that doesn't seem reasonable. That said, women's sizes for shoes are generally smaller than men's, which means women's feet are on average smaller, so maybe she has small feet. Like, I would assume because she's taller and wider, she probably has bigger feet, because, you know, your body's gotta, like, your feet are gonna be scaled to the rest of your body, presumably. At least, you know, with some degree of variance. I would assume she's got big feet. We'll see. Alright, container C. This is obviously where the poison came from. On this shelf, we can see nothing but dangerous chemicals, poisons, and other powerful concoctions, all labeled with the letter C and a number. We'll call it section C, okay. Anything else to look at here? Nope. Alright, B. It's anime, proportions don't matter. Yeah, that's why I said it might. That's why we still have to look at her feet. Looks like a bunch of chemicals. We have no idea what they are. They're reagents. They're used in experiments to bring out chemical reactions. How have you lived in such ignorance? Must be true. Of course, science and mathematics have practical applications. But alas, he's making assumptions about us. Anyway, that doesn't matter. We need to focus on the shelf. All the containers are labeled B and a number, so it's shelving B. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing to worry about on this shelf. Shelf A. What's on this one? All kinds of dietary supplements and medicine. The protein drink probably came from this shelf. In fact, all the letters are labeled with A and a number. So I guess we can consider it part of section A, except for that one right there, C9. One bottle labeled Tem C9. Could someone have put it there on accident? Or intentionally accidentally left it there after you're poisoning something. You should try to find more about the shelving. It looks like it's split. Oh my god, we're still going this. She must have gotten the protein powder from A. But why is there a bottle with E on the left side? We're building up the case for a poisoning. Pretty hard here. There's definitely something going on. Probably, as they're really setting up for. They're setting up for this obvious protein powder was poisoned. Yasuhiro did it. That's probably how it worked. That's how they're setting us up for. That's the way that's the way we're being set up for. I don't know if that's true yet because we've had some serious twists earlier on. Let's take another look at the rec room. See if the information we gave us can somehow advantage us. Alright. Fill in the blanks. Give me some questions about the actual truth of things, as it seems pretty clear cut right now. Let's find out. Things seem clear cut, but are they? Alright, this is the floor. Okay. Not this way. This way, we gotta go back around this corner. Around this corner, and here we go, rec room. So, how's the investigation going? Alright, we told her what Toko and Hiro told us. So they're claiming they didn't see her. But it's too convenient, someone must be lying. Well, there's another hint. Someone's lying. Alright. Sakura's body, the shelf, and the bottles. What do you got? New clues. Let's look over. Okay. First, the bottles. One's missing. She said she found a clue involving Monokuma bottles. Okay. There's 2 missing. There's a hidden correlation between the bottles. Pay attention. Yep. They're all chess pieces. That's obvious. Can you just tell me what it is? Giving you conclusions isn't a good idea. I'm okay with guiding you though. Come to your own conclusions so you have confidence in the outcome. I like the way Kyoko thinks. I really like doing that. Obviously, when people ask direct questions, you should answer them. But you know, if you're trying to get someone to come to the same conclusion as you, it really helps to just point them in the direction you think is right, and let them work out the correct solution. All right. Not just because you don't trust me. No. There's more of that. Monokuma bottles. Okay. There's one thing that's bothering you. You'd like to do an experiment. Okay. Gather up the pieces and try to get the smaller pieces. Ah, I see what she's trying to do. What she's going to do is try and reconstruct the bottle to verify if 1 or 2 was broken here. That obnoxious Bakui is not here, so it's fine to mess with it. Alright. Get something from the chem lab. While you're done, try to gather up all the glass. And with that, she left the room. What choice do you have? May as well just do it. You check the broom and dustpan and get to work collecting the broken bottle pieces. Okay. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting. Let's get to work. She's got a scale. We're going to use it to compare weights. Ah, more efficient than building it. Just mass them. They're all identical bottles. They should be very close in weight. And glass probably weighs more than whatever the object inside is. It's probably some cheap object that weighs very little relative to the weight of the glass bottle. Cool. First, compare the weight of 2 normal bottles. They're about even, with a very, very slight weight to the left. Each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Makes sense? The figures are basically the same and nothing could really affect the weight. Part 2. Put all the pieces on one side and leave one on the other. What would we expect to see? The assumption would be the same weight. Either they balance out or the pieces will be lighter. Or heavier. There's a second option. He might have missed some. So what do we got? Significantly heavier. Can I check her feet size? I'd like to do that, but we click this first. Alright. Significantly heavier. So that means 2 bottles were broken. Gotcha. The broken pieces are heavier, and not by a small amount, by a lot. Just as she thought. Put it all together. 2 bottles are broken and there's a piece missing. So what do you think? Monokuma bottle experiment's been added. Perfect. Okay. Let's check her feet. Can we check her feet specifically? We can't. Okay, I'm gonna check the body again. According to Kyoko, there's something that needs to be discovered. Don't just stare off into space. Examine the body. I like how Kyoko's like, I said examine the body. I didn't mean just stare at it. Now she's gonna carry me this time. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing you've grown perversely used to. Although there's still some times. Can't believe no matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it. Frozen balls, Makoto. It's perfectly normal. Is it? Is it now? It's because he's had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. I'm telling you, world's best detective. Either that or a mortician. One of those two. Would you have a problem? Actually, I wouldn't have a problem with the mortician. That'd be cool. More importantly, look here. The yellow powder on her shoes. Yellow powder on the instep on the right one too, okay. Totally stands out. The powder is clue number 1. Perfect. Next is the wound on her head. Right. She didn't suffer a single blow, but instead 2 blows. That makes sense. The 2 bottles were broken. She received 2 blows. Yep. Very interesting. What's more, both hands are spotless. No blood on either one. That's what you learned from examining the body. Okay. She was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. Very nice. Nice job, Kyoko. That's some good intel. What else did we have to look at? This maybe? A2 chemical. Yeah, it's a protein drink. She loves her protein. It's got an A2. Yeah, we see the glass. We've seen that before. Okay, what was the other thing we had to look at? We'll do the wrapper to try and get the clue. After we left the nurse's office, she gave it to her to calm her down. The blood. Why is it so far from where she died? A handprint. Yep. Yeah, no one got in or out. It's not relevant. We're running out of things to interact with. The chair. Here, hold up, I'm gonna talk to you. The results, the correlation between the bodies. The experiment showed the pieces on the of the glass were heavier. The bottles have something in common. Yep. There's apparently a secret hidden there. We're not allowed to say anything, right? So. Has to be one of the magazine stand. You asked all 3 to mean the right. I mean, we know that. I've already clicked the magazine stand. Oh, hold up, I can't see it right there. It's still interactable, but it hasn't done anything last time. Let's see, what do we got? The magazine's upside down. Interesting. Did someone put it that way on accident? Explore it in detail if it catches your eye, yep. I picked up the inverted magazine. This is one of the pages near the center. A word's been written in bloody letters. Toko. This a dying message, perhaps? It would appear to be the case. Someone used their finger to write it, yep. But you're not the one who put up the... I'd just like to point out, that's a big mistake. There is no blood on Sakura's hands, so that's a fake message. I mean, we already know that it's probably Yasuhiro, but just in case it wasn't clear, Sakura's hands are clean of blood, therefore they weren't her hands. It was already like that when you found it a while ago. You made sure to put it exactly as you found it for the benefit of whoever might come looking. It says Toko, right? Yep. Oh wait. Hina, you're dumb. Don't confirm that. That's conclusive evidence. We can use the killer on the kill. That's not evidence. It's too easy. It's so suspicious. At this point, we've already seen dying messages. Everyone is aware of the existence of dying messages. You'd clearly know. Aoi's too innocent for this. I know, right? She doesn't deserve to be here. Looks like it's trial time. What time is it? Oh, we can't have the trial announced. I caught you sleeping? What's wrong with the investigation, Monokuma? We're actually making good progress, although it was really easy. What do you want to do? Begin the trial? Yeah. Red door time. See you soon. The mystery is only half solved. Dude, the mystery is solved. The mystery is so solved. There's only so many people it could be. There's only so many people it could be, and we've seen all the clues. Like, he's stalking us. He knows we've seen it. Whatever happens will have to happen to Ghost Route. Whatever happens. I have to make something happen. 10-hour trial boomer reflexes. Oh god, don't remind me. Don't remind me. Actually, I'm gonna save right now. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do the trial yet, because we usually wrap things up in a few minutes. But we can keep going for a bit. Monokuma made his announcement. Everyone showed up right after each other. And then... we're using emoji in the dialogue now. The ultimate martial artist. A locked room murder mystery. Well, he's discovered the power of emoticons recently. No matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at the picnic and you find a dead body, XD. Yeah, it's just plain creepy. The reverse. No matter how sad something is, great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. Do you have 100 friends? It does make it seem sad. How are they seeing his dialogue? Now please get on the elevator. These aren't appropriate uses. I'll see you all down there. You know what? That one's okay. I hate that emote, but... I don't get you guys. How can you not catch me? One of them wasn't. One of them was acting really strangely. He's sweating already. Come on, man. Seriously. Seriously. This is so transparent. How on earth would this be a hard trial? How dare you call me a murderer? She's a little bit sus, but... He's clearly involved with something. Maybe he found the body first. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. There can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. The truth will come out. Monokuma always used emoticons in his dialogue. Here's the stronger than anyone. Stronger than anyone you knew, yet someone killed her. And that person is among us here. One of us, the 6 survivors. It's time to end this. I made my way toward the elevator, but with each step I took, it felt like I was moving further and further from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the door close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The door opened once again. Doors opened once again, and we're in an Egyptian-themed room. Okay, just the 6 of us. Yeah, that's it, Monokuma. We are a little bit lonely. Let's get rid of one of the useless members of the group. You say that like it's not your fault. We're here. Exactly, Makoto. I'd be just as mad. Will the class trial end with one less classmate? Or will school life come to an end completely? Are you ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yep, we're saving.